Hey everyone, it's me, Donna. I'm making this video about maybe making your own perfume scents and everything. But keep in mind, I'm no expert. I'm just somebody that just enjoys playing around with scents and smells and oils and things like that. But I've been, doing a little watching of other people's videos and, a little online research here and there and all that. So I've come up with my own little way of creating my own scents and everything. Okay, let me start off by saying that some people, make scents in like these little bitty vials. They'll get them, and usually it's easier to make, starting off making perfume with those, because you don't have to add as many oils and things like alcohol or water or whatever it is that you choose to stretch the scent out with. So yeah, it's easier to start off that way, and some people will take like a strip or some tissue paper or something, and they will start off with each scent one drop at a time and test it out and see how it smells and all that stuff. But I'm going to kind of do like a fast track thing because I'm working with like a larger container. This is roughly a 2-ounce bottle, and what I've done is I went ahead and pre-filled it up, because 2 ounces is roughly like around 60 millimeters, 59 point something, whatever, but anyway, I'll just say 60 millimeters. Okay, and what I've done is I'm going to make like a 20% ratio concentration, so it'll be 20% of the oils to 80% of whatever carrier, whatever that I'm going to use, okay? So what I've done is I went ahead and poured 20% of 60 is 12, and so minus that from 60 equals 48. So what I've done is I went ahead and poured about 48 millimeters into this container. And you can use water, you can use vodka, you can use rubbing alcohol, you can even use vinegar, which if you use like white vinegar or something, I recommend doing like a 50% vinegar, 50% water, just so you make sure that it doesn't irritate your skin. The only things I would like to say about alcohol and vinegar is that they will leave their own scent. Like rubbing alcohol, you will smell a little bit of that, as well as with vinegar, you will have like a little bit of a vinegary smell, at least for a while. But the interesting thing about vinegar is if you use like a peach smell, peach oil in with it, it will sweeten the peach oil smell. It's kind of unique. It's almost like, how people canned like those old-timey peaches or whatever, those small peaches, they would can them and everything, not the kind you buy at the store or whatever, but the kind like your grandmother would can or whatever. You know how it would give like a real sweet smell? That's kind of what happens when you use vinegar with that. So keep that in mind if you choose to do that. Okay, anyway, so now what I have right here is this little measuring container, and I'm going to try to fill it up with about 12 millimeters of different kinds of oils that I want to generate my scent for. So instead of doing it one drop at a time or whatever, I'm just going to roughly play around with the scents and just make sure, I kind of pour it in there. I would say maybe I can fill it up to about right there or so, because I'm just, this is just my own little hillbilly measurements or whatever. So I'm going to do like that to fill it up to there with my scents. And if I like them, then I'm going to go ahead and pour them in this container and mix it together and see how it turns out. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to start off with this spice pomegranate. I'm going to pour some of that in there, and you can get these oils and scents at like Walmart, Amazon, or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and pour about that much of it, as you can see. Okay. Oops. Okay. Also, I'm going to add bergamot, or bergamot, however you want to say it. I kind of like the smell of that pretty well. So I'm going to dip that in there. Just drop, 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 drop away. If you're just starting out, I would recommend doing the one drop at a time till you get used to different scents and different smells. And then you can just kind of take it from there. Let me see how that smells. That smells good. Okay, then I'm going to add the cherry, the Japanese cherry blossom. So I'm going to pour some of that in there. Whoops. Get some drops of that. Not too much, but a little bit. I'm going to swirl that around, see how that smells. It smells real good. Okay, then I'm actually going to add lemongrass. I think that would kind of give it a kind of, lemony smell. Put a few drops of that in there. Okay, mix that up. Okay, that smells good. And even I'm going to add spearmint. So I'm going to add a few drops of that. Okay. Swirl that around. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, I really enjoy playing around with different scents. You can just do what you want if you're creating yours, but that's how I want mine to smell. Also, I have apple. I'm going to put a little bit of apple in there. A few drops of that. Okay. And then also whoa, I'm having an avalanche here. Okay, let me set these back up. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Also, coconut. I'm going to add some of that. Give it that unique coconut smell. Okay. And then I'm going to add some peach. So I'm going to put some of that in there because I really love the smell of peach. That is one of my favorite scents, okay? So I really went to town with that. And let's see how it turns out. Oh, yeah, that smells pretty good. Okay, so that's not quite there, but it's getting close. So what I'm going to do is add some more bergamot because it kind of gives a little bit, almost a hint of a earthy tone, just slightly, a little bit for me. Okay. Oh, wow. Alrighty. And let's see, let me add a little bit more of the pomegranate. Douse that in there. Okay. Alright, and that looks pretty good. There, let me smell it. Oh, yeah. Alright. So next what I do is I'm going to add it into this container. So I'll be back when I do that. Okay guys, I'm back. I added that into this and then I shook it up, and as you can see it leaves kind of like a cloudy color to it and everything, but that's okay. And what I've actually used as my carrier is vodka. Now, if you're a child watching this, I don't recommend you do this without your parents being around, and I don't recommend you using vodka or rubbing alcohol or anything like that. Well, if you use rubbing alcohol, definitely make sure that you've got a parent around or a guardian to make sure that everything is safe. Do not do this without guardian guidance, let's put it that way. Whoops. So yeah, but anyway, and definitely don't try to drink this because it would be very toxic. Okay, so this is just for perfume use. Okay, the good thing about vodka is that it's not overpowering and it will not override your scents. Now, like I said, rubbing alcohol and vinegar and stuff like that, they will add their scent into it, especially in the beginning. Now, after a while, after they set, the perfume set for like a few weeks or whatever, it might change, and it lessens. It definitely lessens. So it's not as strong. But and also, like I said, you can use water, and I would recommend any child that does attempt this to use water, because that's nice. It's still, you get your perfume scent in there and everything. So yeah, of course it doesn't have as long as a shelf life. You know, you don't want to leave your water hanging around for too long, your perfume water, because it can get bacteria and stuff like that in it. So just make sure, you know, that you use it up before, you know, I'd say at least within a couple of months or so. But anyway, but that's my own little hillbilly guide on how I like to play around and make my scents. So yeah, anyway, talk to you guys later. Bye.